Cork Today on C103.
And Anneliese of the Health Hub store, Times Square in Ballincollig, joining me. Good afternoon, Anneliese.
Good afternoon, Patricia.
And you're very welcome. OK, let's get straight into questions. Firstly, because there's a lot of people asking the same question about hay fever, and we are into hay fever season. Some advice around hay fever, please. And for children, is it the same advice?
Yes, it is the same advice for children, but products might be different depending on the age of the child. So typically what we recommend are natural antihistamines, and ideally you kind of start probably really by April, at the middle of April, before the pollen gets really bad. I know now, Patricia, I'm walking down in the regional park at the moment and I can see the birch pollen. It's like a cloud of fluff on the ground, and I'd say it's driving poor hay fever sufferers absolutely crazy. So ideally, natural antihistamines, you start taking them a couple of weeks before the season, and they would be things like quercetin, stinging nettle, pine bark extract is another one, and Maconta, an Irish company, they do a lovely quercetin product that we have. Actually, it's on special offer in the store at the moment. It's 20% off for the hay fever season. Now, that will be suitable for both kids and parents to take. And the lovely thing about quercetin is that it's a natural anti-inflammatory as well. Vitamin C also would be a natural antihistamine, but it's very, very unlikely to be effective on its own, but it's a nice one to add, and of course, again, very safe for children. Then there's the homeopathic approach. So the Pollenafan is a blend of different homeopathic remedies in one tablet. Dr. Vogel does it, and you'll be able to get it in any health shop. And that's, again, suitable for most children and adults. And it comes in a spray as well that you can spray into the nose that might give you a little bit of immediate relief from the running. And the final thing I'd say for people who are very bad, the Dr. Dealish Clare, she does a blend called Allertone, Allertone, and that's a blend of lots of different herbs for hay fever and allergies in general. Actually, we give it to anybody who's in an allergic state. Other small tips then would be to put a bit of Vaseline in the nose to kind of block the pollen. You can actually buy one called Hay Balm, which is a barrier balm you put on the nose. And the other thing is keep your windows closed.
That does work, and keep away from places like you said, the park.
Yeah, absolutely. At this time of the year, you're better off going down to the beach, because at least to the beach you'll always get a sea breeze, and there's very unlikely to be a lot of pollen around there.
Okay, here's a question in about Source of Life Gold. Listener wants to know, are the Source of Life Gold tablets as good as the liquid form? The listener finds it very hard to take the liquid, but is wondering, are the tablets as good?
You know what? They are almost as good, but not quite. So, but if you can't take the liquid, they're a perfect alternative. There is something called the ORAC value, which is a measure of how powerful an antioxidant or an anti-inflammatory something is. And the ORAC value of the Source of Life Gold liquid is 1,250, whereas the tablets, it's 1,000. So that's the difference. But other than that, I think the tablets, if you can take the liquid, are good.
Yeah,
well
I know I got a week's supply of the tablets. I was on Source of Life Gold at one stage, and I was going away for a week, and I wanted to stay on the Source of Life Gold, so I took a week's supply of the tablets so as not to have to bring the big bottle with me. They're bullets, I will say. If you have a problem, if you have a problem swallowing tablets, you got
absolutely. I much prefer the liquid, but actually, as you said there, Patricia, a lot of people are heading on holidays.
Yeah,
they might be having a few drinks in the evening more than normal, and having something like that in the morning would be great.
Yeah, it's great.
So
it's great.
Just take that. You can always cut the tablets in half.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I have to say, I don't like drinking anything that's green. I have a thing. I just have to close my eyes. Whatever it is about drinking something green, I don't mind the taste. It's just as long as I don't look at it. But I don't mind. I find the taste okay.
Yeah, and I don't mind the look of it, and I'm not too fond of the taste, but I'll take it.
Everyone's different, isn't it?
People say, but I can't stand the taste, and I just say, it's like medicine.
Yeah, no.
Get on with it and take it.
Down the hatch like a shot.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we going? Hi, Anneliese. I've got pain underneath my foot when I'm walking. So only when I'm walking, what could it be?
Not fully sure, Patricia, but I'd say it could be maybe something to do with the arch or possibly the plantar muscle. So the plantar muscle is a big kind of flat muscle that goes over the whole foot. And if you get inflammation in that muscle, you will get terrible pain when walking. And it might, because it covers the whole foot, you might feel it under the foot, or you might feel it in the middle of the foot or over the foot. So could be plantar fasciitis. Now, if it is the natural remedy, it's hit and miss. It's a homeopathic remedy. It actually worked for me when I thought, now I was never diagnosed with plantar fasciitis, but I thought that's what it was. I had it for about 2 months, and I took it, Ruta grav, Rutagrav, and it's a homeopathic remedy for kind of tendons and muscles, and it worked for me. But I've given it to quite a few customers since, and it's very hit and miss. So you could try that, and then it possibly is a fallen arch, in which case you're going to need to go and get special orthotics in your shoes.
Okay. Hi, Anneliese. Could you give advice around vertigo, please? A friend of mine experienced it for the first time recently and was very frightened by it.
It can be frightening, actually, Patricia, because it can either be a feeling of complete and utter loss of balance, or for some people they feel seasick all the time and nauseous. And in my experience, vertigo comes from a couple of different things. One is damage to the inner ear canal, and the other is inflammation to the ear canal that has been caused by a viral infection. And that's very common because it's a kind of a flu-like virus. And if it affects the inner ear and you get that feeling, it may be that the inflammation doesn't go down. So we used to have a great supplement that was reasonably successful for people. It was a hearing support supplement, unfortunately discontinued. But we try and make it up with other things. And what we've been using is the One Nutrition P4 Immune, it's called. And that has got some of the same natural anti-inflammatories in it that were in the other one. And we also couple that with Nature's Plus Inner Ear supplement, which is actually a children's supplement, but it's got a very specific probiotic in there that's good for the inner ear. So that's Nature's Plus Inner Ear supplement. And we combine the two of those and tell people to drink rosemary tea. And that has been reasonably successful. The doctor will give you Stematol, which is a travel sickness drug, and that can help manage the actual symptoms sometimes for people if you're just having a flare-up. So you could try that as well.
Okay. Hi, Anneliese. I tend to get very hot. It feels like it's coming from the inside out about 30 minutes after I eat. I've had my bloods done. I'm not diabetic. Everything's come back fine. Any idea what could be causing it? I am on HRT. Could it be linked to the menopause?
I think it is, Patricia. Yeah, I think it is. So, that would be a big factor for menopause. And we still don't know why women get hot flushes when estrogen is dropping. I know myself that a lot of people would get a flush after caffeine, even or feel hot after caffeine, because caffeine is a vasodilator and it speeds everything up. It kind of acts like adrenaline in the system. So I think anything that can maybe not be a shock to the system, and not suggesting eating your dinner is a shock to the system, but anything that maybe puts the system under a little bit extra pressure than just going around your daily business could trigger that type of a hotness and a hot flush. The other thing as well is that the liver works quite hard, when you're digesting, because it has to produce a lot of digestive enzymes and bile for fat digestion. So, if you're kind of hot over on the left side of your body, just underneath your kind of rib there, if there's a heat there, it could be a bit liverish, and maybe taking a fat digesting support would help, along with some other nice things like artichoke and dandelion. And you can get a digestive enzyme that's really good for digesting fat, and that might help.
What would you suggest to help a student getting ready for the Leaving Cert?
Oh, yes, and God love them now, and the anxiety is just through the roof. So generally what I recommend is a combination of a couple of different things, Patricia. So you want the kids to be very calm, you want to support their memory, and you want to support their focus and concentration, and you want to prevent them from becoming anxious and get a good night's sleep. So a couple of things will do all of that. Again, we've got one that's coming into the shop now on special. Again, McConta, they're a lovely Irish company, and they've started doing some fantastic products and blends. So ashwagandha is going to be going on special for us this month. This is a fantastic stress-managing herb for anybody across the board who's going through a lot of stress. It's also brilliant if you're doing a lot of physical stress. So if you're working out an awful lot, it's very good for that. It helps improve recovery, boost the immune system, reduce anxiety, and improve your stress coping ability. So that's a fantastic one, and we'll have that on special this month for 20%. And then something for an immediate calming effect. The L-theanine is wonderful for that. So it's an amino acid they isolated from green tea mainly, and it works within about 15 minutes to give a kind of promote calm and focus. And you can give it to people at night time as well for a good night's sleep. And Maconta do actually an L-theanine blended with some B vitamins and something else called L-ornithine. And we're getting great feedback for people who are taking that for sleep at night. So a combination of the two of those. And the other thing I suggest is that people eat little and often, keep your blood sugar balanced, because if it drops, your brain will start kind of having to run on adrenaline. So, make sure there's plenty snacks going into exams. Bring in maybe a smoothie or a protein drink or something like that, or bring in some sucky sweets even just to give yourself a bit of carbohydrate throughout the exams.
Okay, listener wants to know any advice, please, for her husband. He's got fungal infection in his toes, got tablets from the doctor, but he ended up developing a rash from the tablets. What would you suggest? This listener read recently that bathing the feet in organic tea tree oil would help. What would you suggest?
I think the best tea tree isn't a bad one, Patricia, but I really don't think it does it for a fungal toe. And actually, it would be quite common to develop a rash because those antifungal tablets are very, very, very hard on the liver. So what I would recommend to start with is something called grapefruit seed extract. It literally is the extract of the grapefruit seed, and it's a very strong natural antifungal. So you can either put it onto the toe directly or the nail directly, or you can put a couple of drops of it into a warm bath of water and soak the feet. And I definitely recommend doing that a couple of times during the week because it'll get right in under the nail bed of the toe that way. And then morning and evening, apply it onto the foot. And if it's very, very bad, you could take natural antifungals. So these would be things like thyme extract, garlic extract, oregano extract. There's black walnut is fantastic, caprylic acid. These are all very powerful natural antifungal herbs. So if it's a very bad infection, you could take those quite safely without any negative side effects, and it'll get working from the inside out. But make sure you check in the health shop with your medications so that there's no contraindication.
Okay, and a final one. Hi, Anneliese. My grandson had Vertigo recently. It's really taken a lot out of him. Could you recommend anything just to try and build him back up a bit?
Well, the Vertigo is very infectious, actually, Patricia, and I think generally what I would recommend for the skin at that point is vitamin C and zinc for skin healing. And then to build somebody back up again, you really can't beat the Animal Parade, which is the Source of Life Gold equivalent for kids. It comes in either gummies or it comes in a liquid tonic, and it is very good. Or even the Floridix, iron is a lovely one. And again, if iron is low in a kid, you'll have very poor wound healing. So the Floridix comes in a liquid orange juice and is very, very easy to take for kids. So either of those to build back up again. Okay,
and you have a heart health screening day. Is that, no, it's not this Thursday, it's Thursday week, isn't it?
Thursday week on the 25th of May. So we've done this before, Patricia, and it's really popular. So we have a nutritional therapist comes. People, they get a heart screening using a sort of a machine that will measure the elasticity of the arteries and see how healthy, basically, and how flexible your heart is. Also, people are welcome to bring along their blood results, and we can have a look at their cholesterol results for them, and they'll also get nutritional advice. So if they want to, they can ring for an appointment, ring the shop 021 4810 110, and it's €60 in total.
Okay, thank you for that, Anneliese, and we'll talk again next week. That's Anneliese Dressel of the Health Hub store, Times Square in Ballincollig.